Yes. Your piece can have a look. All right.
Was a friend of mine who drowned in Spain 7 weeks, about a month ago. Well, because I don't know.
Your Excellencies, Minister, my lords, ladies and gentlemen, may I welcome you all to the annual dinner of the Bahrain Society. I have had to change the order of the speeches a little bit, and indeed we're doing them earlier than might be best, but Mr. Burt, the Minister of the Foreign Office, has to go and vote in the House of Commons. I am told that if he doesn't, he will be sent straight to the Tower and will not be allowed to come back to the remainder of the dinner. So I think we should get on and let him go. We also have a slight medical crisis outside, which I hope is now sorted, and I hope all will go well. Now, to carry on with that, we are fortunate indeed to have this year as our principal guests, first, His Excellency Mr. Kamal Ahmed Mohammed, on my left, second on my left, who is the Minister for Cabinet Affairs of the Kingdom of Bahrain. And next to me on my left is Mr. Alistair Burt, who I just mentioned, who is the Foreign and Commonwealth Office Minister, to give us excellent insights into Bahraini matters. And they will each address us in a few minutes. And as I said at the beginning, if Mr. Burt suddenly disappears, it is because of the three-line whip. We welcome at this year's dinner a new ambassador of the Kingdom of Bahrain. Her Excellency Alice Saman has been in London for only a few weeks, but already she has proved herself to be a good friend of the Society. Sheikh Khalifa bin Ali, her predecessor, you will be pleased to know, is now working hard back in the Foreign Ministry in Bahrain. I regret that I have to report to you that Mr. Vic Whittingham, our Society's hard-working secretary, cannot be with us this year. Sadly, his wife Lila is very sick at the moment, and Vic felt it prudent not to leave her for so long. I'm sure we all wish her well and send best wishes. This, of course, is not the AGM, so I do not have to give you a detailed account of the Society's doings over the year. But I would just like to report that instead of our usual series of lectures on Bahraini-related subjects, we have this year been on a number of outside visits to places of interest in London. And these have proved to be very popular, and many have been well oversubscribed. Now, sadly, we all know what a difficult time Bahrain has been having for the past 9 months. And although the Society is totally non-political and non-partisan, I do feel that I should say we all feel that Bahrain has been appallingly badly treated by the world media. I know from my visits that many of the stories which appear are whipped up out of all proportion by those who want to turn them into a so-called better story. The well-known ability of the media to misrepresent and to make things look as bad as possible has been well proven to the detriment, I have to say, of all Bahraini people. I would like to thank the membership of the Society for their interest and support for our affairs, and in particular my committee members who do so much to make our Society so thriving. Our thanks are also due to the Army and Navy Club, who have arranged such a splendid evening for us. Thank you very much for your attention. May now ask Mr. Burt to address us. Thank you.
Thank you. Your Excellency, Mr. Minister, Madam Ambassador, Excellencies, former ministers and distinguished colleagues who are scattered liberally around the place, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much indeed for giving me the opportunity of proposing the toast of the Society, because I'll bring that forward as well, if I may, on this occasion. I'm delighted to be able to be here and play a part in the Bahrain Society's celebrations. I'm sorry that we're doing so slightly under the cloud of what's happening outside, and we do hope the gentleman is well and recovering, but we appreciate the seriousness of it. Thank you very much for letting us go on. We share a very rich history, the United Kingdom and Bahrain, Mr. Minister. 2011, as the Chairman has said, has been at times a difficult year for Bahrain and its friends. But we're here tonight as long-standing allies, a friendship spanning over 200 years, dating back to the times of Admiral Lord Nelson. Our significant personal links make the United Kingdom of Bahrain feel like home from home. It's an expression I've heard more than once in talking to people tonight. And this 40th anniversary of the Bahraini independence this year is a significant milestone, and one the United Kingdom wishes to fully acknowledge. Our close affinity is felt throughout society, demonstrated by the number of Bahraini students currently enrolled in the universities of the United Kingdom, to the friendships developed between our respective royal families. Many of you will be aware of this government's commitment to Bahrain and the region as a whole under the Gulf Initiative. This was launched by the Foreign Secretary last summer, and we're pleased by the impact it has had in rejuvenating our affiliation with the region as a whole. I'm personally very committed to building on the success of the first year, and hope that my relationship with GCC ministers and their excellent ambassadors here in London will go from strength to strength. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Bahrain for the vital role it plays as the base for UK naval operations in the Gulf and beyond. This strategically significant support is by no means taken for granted. As we prepare to mark Remembrance Day later this week, let me express our eternal gratitude to the courage and commitment of UK servicemen and women in the region and those who support them so excellently. The United Kingdom and Bahrain's close working relationship was demonstrated recently by the visit of the Bahraini Economic Development Board and a delegation of Bahraini businesses, led by His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Nasser Al Khalifa, which reinforced our commercial linkages. Sustainable stability is a prerequisite for attracting new British companies into Bahrain, which we know from past experience has much to offer to the United Kingdom. Economic development will play a key role in restoring commercial confidence, and the United Kingdom wants to be a long-term partner in this process. Similarly, the visit of our National Security Advisor Sir Peter Ricketts to Bahrain early last month reflects the strong interest we have as a friend and ally in helping you, sir, to move forward. We're encouraged by the positive steps taken by the Bahraini government towards reconciliation, and look forward to hearing your further plans for action. Bahrain's openness and acceptance of past mistakes are testimony to the seriousness with which Bahrain is addressing the concerns of the Bahraini people. His Majesty King Hamed's establishment of the Independent Commission of Inquiry earlier this year was a significant occasion, and we await the publication of the report on the 23rd of November with interest. We do urge the Bahraini government to follow through with its commitments to hold all those responsible for human rights abuses to account. Effective implementation of its recommendations will be essential for reconciliation and ultimately for the stability of the country. As a friend of Bahrain, we want to help you achieve this. We therefore welcome Bahrain's acceptance of our offer of assistance. Lessons must be learnt and acted upon if we're to see real progress. Her Majesty's government remains committed to defending human rights and will continue to support political and economic freedom in all countries. Events in the region have shown that the surest routes to regional stability is through reform. This is not a threat to stability, but its guarantor over the long term. We're also clear that one model of democracy does not fit all. Each country is different and has the right to develop its own political model. However, respect for human rights and space for the participation of all citizens in the political and economic life of their country are principles that should underline all political systems. What should also be clear is that violence on any side has no place in resolving political issues. We're pleased by the focus that the new Bahraini parliamentary session is giving to implementing recommendations from the national dialogue. It's important that the concern of all Bahraini citizens are addressed and that they feel a part of the decision-making process. Open dialogue remains the best way to bring long-term stability to Bahrain. We encourage the Bahraini authorities and opposition groups to show real leadership by engaging constructively with one another, promoting tolerance and demonstrating a shared commitment to the future of the country. The Minister was talking to me only a moment ago about the importance of Bahrainis feeling they are Bahrainis, whatever part of society they come from. We share that aspiration with him. Let me underline the importance of the opposition also taking mature and positive steps towards engaging in dialogue. We know this from our own experience in Northern Ireland. Reconciliation cannot succeed if groups pursue their own interests only. This process is by no means linear, and overcoming sectarianism restores the restoration of trust and the ability to compromise. We will continue to encourage the opposition to embrace the opportunities made available by the Bahraini government for open engagement. So we also call on community and religious leaders in Bahrain to do more to discourage violence, particularly amongst the youth, in order to break the cycle of hostility. We remain committed to continue our close support to Bahrain in its pursuit of sustainable long-term stability and the protection of fundamental freedoms. Rest assured, we will be with Bahrain in those efforts. So, Mr. Chairman, on this occasion, when so many people come here with so many good memories of Bahrain and so many aspirations for the future, it's appropriate that society meets and toasts itself because of your long-standing commitment and interest. It's been a pleasure to be part of this evening. I'm looking forward to a first visit to Bahrain very shortly, and I therefore invite all of us to stand and raise our glasses to the Bahrain Society. Bahrain Society. Thank you.
It's a pleasure and privilege to be here tonight to address this honorable society which support the friendship between our two nations. This year, as stated by Minister Bert, marks 40 years since the signing of the Treaty of Friendship between the United Kingdom and Bahrain, and 40 years for the society in London. And of course, our alliance goes back further, I don't know how many years, or centuries.
Centuries.
Of course, our relation has been tested and tried. It was built on deep understanding, respect, mutual interest, and shared vision. Today, we have enviable business relationship. The UK exports around £15 billion worth of goods and services to the Gulf, and investment from the Gulf